Hey guys, Scott Riegers here with Eastmans Hunting Journals. Today I am here to review the Alaska Classic Bino Pack and Bino Tether system from Alaska Guide Creations. I personally am really excited to review this system. For the last 2 seasons, I have worn a Bino pack from Alaska Guide Creations. So this is one that is really near and dear to my heart. This is something that I have known for quite a while, and I'm really excited about actually reviewing it and getting to test this one out this year. And so I want to tell you about my favorite features on this Bino pack from Alaska Guide Creations. While I've got you here looking at this review and thinking about buying a new Bino pack, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see more of the reviews that we put out, and also make sure that you like and leave a comment. I will personally come on and answer any questions about this particular Bino pack and any of the other reviews that I've done. First and foremost, I like my Bino harness to be able to function as a emergency kit. And why I do that is because this is always attached to me. Even when I'm in camp, I usually keep this attached to me. The only time I may take it off is when I'm, say, inside the tent getting ready for the day or end of the day, and even then this is still sitting right next to my head. It's one of the first things that goes on. The way that I use that is these side pockets function perfect for things like knives. And so you can see I'm outfitting this particular pack because I'm going to keep this one. This one is going to stay in my office. I'm not going to hand this around. Shh, don't tell anybody. But you can see that I would put a knife in there. You'd also see on this side, you can get some things like elk call or a turkey call. I was most recently using a turkey call. So I actually had this Bino harness with me, this Alaska Classic, but this has the extra pocket here right on the bottom. But I had this with me turkey hunting. So you can see on this side pocket, got a little bit of pyro putty in there. And then I've also got my emergency fire starter. So I keep this one with me for an emergency because, when you're using an actual lighter, a lot of times a lighter can fail under adverse circumstances. This will throw a spark no matter what into something like pyro putty. But both of these are really small. Tie that back to your emergency kit. I want that inside of my Bino pack that stays with me all of the time. I also keep a pen in here, and you can see that, this will be on this particular Alaska Classic, this pen would be a little bit big. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this into the back pocket here. But you always want to have a pen with you for signing your license. That's a big mistake a lot of guys make. Because I always have my Bino pack with me, I always have my pen with me so I can make sure that I'm legal and sign my license, especially here in a place like Wyoming. So then that brings me to the next piece. How well does this protect your binoculars? Well, I can say for 2 years that this Bino pack has taken care of my binoculars, and it has done a very good job in keeping them well protected. Pop this open and you can see that I have my SIG Zulu 9s here, and these are the 11 buys, so they fit very well inside this particular binocular. And so you can flip it up, put it back in. The cinch harness is adjustable, so you can cinch that down very easily. That holds the lid down and keeps it well protected. Now, I know some people like a harness that flips forward. Personally, after I got used to this, I had been using a forward flipping harness before, a forward flipping Bino pack. After I got used to this again, I realized I really liked it. Now why? Well, I'm messy. And so I started noticing that when I had, and everybody here in the office is definitely going to make fun of me because, I'm known for eating a lot of snacks and bring a lot of food with me. But it's very easy to crumble things when you have a forward facing Bino harness. It's very easy to crumble things. I've also taken a sip of coffee, and guess what? It dripped right inside my binoculars. This naturally falls down on top of your binoculars. And so that is one great way that this functions. And so another thing I'm sure that you're seeing here is, whoa, what's that on top? Well, you've got my cell phone right there. Now, I've also used this where you can just pop that phone in, even with your phone scope attached to the top here, it'll sit here just fine. And this stretchy nylon material will hold that in place. The Alaska Classic here has that, You know, this is just a smaller version. So if you're an ounce counter, this is definitely the direction I would go. Because I carry all my first aid and safety kit with me, I use just a little bit bigger, and so I'm willing to take that weight penalty to be able to do that. But guess what? That weight's no longer in my backpack, so it really evens out. That's the way I feel about that situation. So then next feature, I'm sure you're looking at this pack and you're seeing, okay, what's this front pocket do? Well, let me show you what this front pocket has in it. Number one, you can see right here, you can cinch this down as tight as you want to hold that lid. Now what's this for? Well, this you can attach to your rangefinder, because this is a rangefinder pocket. Now, because I do a lot of longer distances than say the archer, I did not attach my rangefinder to that. But a lot of the archery fanatics, a lot of the diehard elk hunters, they will definitely connect that because they run and gun and move a lot, and it's a good reminder to put that in all the time. So you have both options. Just make sure that you are set up and you are constantly able to do what you want to do. Now, let's get into the Bino tether system from Alaska Guide Creations. Now, the first few things that I want to notice is that is very easy with fat fingers like mine to undo and be able to get that done. Nothing is worse than when you have gloves on, even liner gloves, and you can't get a buckle undone. And so that's one of the first things that I always look for. Then the next step is, how well can I cinch this to my body? How tight can I get this? And as you can see, I've worn this a very long time. And this Bino tether system has stayed true. I've been able to keep it snug against me. These particular locks, these buckles, don't lose their rigidity over the course of time. I counted it up last year, and on mule deer alone, I did 17 days of actual hunting and scouting time, no loosening up, even with a lot of sweat going through this. So that's a big deal. This thing held tight. One of the other features I absolutely love about this Bino harness is in the tethering system, you've got this perfect combination of padding, but not too much padding that makes you sweat. That's one of the things that can happen to some of the other different binocular harness systems. And I can honestly say that with this tether system, I've never felt it underneath my pack. So that's one of the advantages that I really feel like the Alaska Guide Creation system has. You'll also see that you have the ability to keep all of your pieces under control. And for a lot of guys, that's a very big deal. You know, when I get set up during scouting season and heading into, say, the heart of mule deer season, my favorite season of the year, I'll get all that cinched in tight, and you can see it comes straight from the factory, just like this brand new one. You can see that there, that's plugged in tight there and held in. And so kind of a gatekeeper type feel is what that has. Next piece of the equation is how, with that Bino tether system, do you keep your binoculars under control? Personally, I don't hook in all the time. If I am on, say, a very steep ridge or right above a cliff, I am definitely going to hold tight my binoculars. You can take this and run this through, and you can set up right through here. You got to take a little bit of time to do that. And actually, probably shouldn't say that it's easy to do that, because you don't want it to be easy for this to fall out. This is a little bit of a tight space, and you want it to be. You want it to hold your binoculars in place. I actually, one time, getting off a horse, bent over as I got off a horse, and I had binos fall out. They broke the tether system. That's not an issue with the Alaska Guide Creation system. This is beefy. You can see that it's really beefy and is not going to be an issue to break. So there's more than one way to do this. Modular is what Alaska Guide Creations is going for with this Alaska Classic and the Bino tether system. So those are all the features. You got the side pockets, you got the back pocket, you got your rangefinder pocket. You've got two sleeves where you can hold and protect the cell phone if you want. And I would really encourage you, if you're interested in this Bino pack from Alaska Guide Creations, make sure that you take some time and really go and explore their website, because there are all kinds of accessories that go with this. Alaska Guide Creations has a universal holster that you can use with the system. You can use it with your pack. I used that for a full system actually in 2019. Put that on my Everly stock pouch on the, or Everly stock belt on the side here, and it worked really well. And there are other holster systems that you can hook in right here. And so that's a great opportunity to go and look at the accessories that go with that. So thanks for coming along for this review of the Alaska Guide Creations, the Alaska Classic Pack.